Okay, so now on the second part here, we were going to actually do this algebraically, I guess. So I had 0 equal to x squared minus 6x, was it? Yeah, 6x plus 5. So since I did the factoring on the other side, I'm going to do the quadratic formula on this one. And what you need to remember is that there are three numbers. There's a 1 in front of the x squared, that's your a. The negative 6 in front of the x, that's your b. And the 5 that is not attached to a variable, that's your c. And so I have x equals the opposite of b, so that's positive 6, plus or minus the square root of b, which is negative 6 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. And then once you have that, what you need to realize is that you're going to have two answers because of that plus or minus. So I'm going to solve this fractional thing and simplify it. And when I do that, I will see two things happening. So as I simplify, I get 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 20 underneath the radical, all of that over 2. Which is really like 6 plus or minus the square root of 16 all over 2. Or in other words, 6 plus or minus 4 all over 2. And what this is saying is that I have two answers for x. Because remember, this is equal to x. I have either 6 plus 4 all over 2, or I have 6 minus 4 all over 2. And 6 plus 4 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. And 6 minus 4 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. And these are my x values. So notice how it yields the exact same numbers, 5 and 1. You can do it by factoring. You can use the quadratic formula. You can use your calculator. We have a lot of techniques in this class. If the exam does not tell you which technique you have to use any one you want. I don't care. I pick whatever's fastest that I know I can do well. So pick whichever one, I don't really care. If they tell you which one you have to do, that's the one you do because that's what we're evaluating. But if they don't tell you, whatever. Questions? As I put these videos up on my website, I'm going to have a link on my Moodle page that'll say pre-calc videos, and it's going to take you to YouTube. And in my YouTube channel, it's going to have labels like P4D1-1. That means P4 day 1 first video. YouTube will only allow us to record up to 15 minutes at a time. So I'm doing basically one slide is going to be one video. So like today, we'll have 4 videos for today. So I'm sorry, but that's our school district doesn't host videos on their server anymore. We have to do it through YouTube. So that's what's going on there. Okay, so we just got done with this technique, but I just want to show you something really quick. Here's one more problem. I'm going to set it up for you, and then I want you to try it. And then I'm going to come back and finish it up and show you what's going on and make sure you got it right. This one has another equation in it. What I want to point out here, which we're not going to do, is that I could have rewrote this equation as x squared minus 5x minus 4 equals 0. And what ends up happening is whenever you're trying to find the zeros, you put the equation, the expression in one thing, like y1, and you put the right-hand side in y2. Or the 0, just like we did in the previous problem on our calculator. But because they wrote it differently, this time what you're going to do, and the way you're going to set it up, is in y1, you're going to put x squared minus 5x. In y2, you're going to put down 4. Because doing it this way is exactly the same as what we did earlier with the 0 thing. it'll give you the same x values for intersection. Because what's happened in number 3 is the graph has just been shifted up 4. So if you were to look at like a parabola crossing at the x-axis, now this parabola has moved up 4, and that's why we have the crossing at 4. So if I were to drop it 4 units, it would sit on the x-axis and then it'd be at the zeros. But they will give you the same x values. So in general, left side of the equation goes in y1, right side goes in y2. And I'll highlight that here, and then I want you to try it. So left side goes in y1, right side goes in y2, and that's the whole second trace, 5, enter, enter, arrow, enter. You give it a shot. After you're done, compare with 2 people, and then in about 3 minutes, I'm going to come back and finish it up. Okay, so we found out by looking at our calculator in the same technique as before that our 2 x values were x, that's lovely, equals negative 0.702 and 5.702. And again, you can use this with the y1 and y2 equation, second trace 5, enter, enter, arrow, enter, or you could guess if you wanted to.